Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is called Parshas Tzav. We're continuing with the book of Vayikra about the offerings in the tabernacle and the temple afterwards. But we're going to speak today again about Purim. This week, Wednesday night and Thursday in the entire world, Thursday night and Friday in Jerusalem and other walled cities from the time of Joshua, are the holiday of Purim. In the fourth chapter of the Megillah, there's a very interesting question. Mordechai comes to Esther and he says, or sends her a messenger, and says that the Jewish people are in danger. There's been a decree and all of us are going to be exterminated. You have to use your influence to influence the king. Esther says, the king hasn't called me in 30 days, right? If I go in, my life is forfeit. Maybe it's a waste of resources. Mordechai says, this was the reason you were put in this place. You have to go all out. Okay, so Esther says, I'm in. Everybody fast. Myself and my servants are going to fast, and then I'll go into the king. It's not understandable at all. The rule is, even with Torah, God helps those who help themselves. You're supposed to use nature, right? Nobody goes to an important appointment and gets there 5 seconds before and expects that somebody's going to pull out and give you a parking spot. Okay, so by fasting, since the reason why Achashverosh chose her is because of her great beauty, by fasting, she wasn't going to make herself more desirable to the king. She was in fact going to put the whole campaign into danger, right? Why would she suggest fasting? And the answer is beautiful. Esther knew that the Jewish people were in a very incredibly powerful position. Mordechai was one of the ministers. He could save the king's life, and therefore the king owed him. Esther was the queen, and yet look what was going on. The Jewish people were in threat of being exterminated. She understood this was coming from heaven, something out of nature. It was connected to the feast of Achashverosh, that when he used the vessels of the Beis HaMikdash to show them off, and the Jewish people actually ate from them and caused a terrible, terrible sin. She understood she had to fix, to repair that tragedy. By the Jewish people fasting, and she herself fasting, that was going to repair the damage and bring down God's benevolence to save the Jewish people. What's the answer for each of us? All of us says Baruch Hashem. We all give more tzedakah when we need God's help. We all say an extra capital of Psalms. But when things really come push to shove, what do we have to do? We have to know that the person who's in charge is the Almighty, and the only one that's going to help us is God. And therefore, we have to focus on the spiritual side and not on this physical side. Shabbat Shalom.